All right, man, let's get into it. Turn this down real quick. All right, man. Watched the fight. Wasn't that impressed with the fight. A lot of frustration. Both guys grabbing, holding, especially Rigo. Grabbing, holding, ducking. I expected that. Didn't expect the pushing down of the head from Loma, but he did what he had to do in order to keep Rigo from trying to gain an advantage and throw something slick on the inside. So he did what he had to do to ensure that that didn't happen. Other than that, man, most of the fight, just a bunch of grabbing and holding and pushing. I saw Loma land some clean shots, mostly with the jab. Uh, you know, he threw a few combinations on the inside. He landed some on the outside. But other than that, it was just a bunch of grabbing and holding and pushing and shoving in this fight, which is pretty much expected when you're looking at a fight of this magnitude take place. You know, two guys in there don't really want to add a blemish to the record, even though Loma has at least one blemish on his record. But you know, we all know what happened in the Salido fight. So Salido fight was a lot better than this one. I thought that this one would be in comparison to a Beretta and Prince Nassim Hamed, but it definitely didn't live up to that, and that's due to Rigo not doing what he was supposed to do in there. I expected him to at least have some trouble with Loma's speed, with his combinations, with his footwork, and like I said, I expected him to have some trouble with that. But I thought by maybe the fifth or the sixth round we would see a fight actually start to take place, and it really didn't happen. And it didn't happen due to Loma. I mean, we got to credit him a little bit, you know, for what he was able to do in there as far as his footwork and his awkwardness. I think that that played a huge factor in him actually pulling out this win. He was in Rigo's face. He likes to get into his opponent's face and crowd their space. He knows that he can slip in and out when he wants. He knows he can turn his opponents around when he wants to. He knows that he can come back with something at an awkward angle. He knows that he can get you while he's turning you. So he's not concerned with what's going to happen on the inside when he gets in there close. And that's pretty much what he used to his advantage tonight. His age played a huge factor. They ESPN went into this whole little soliloquy about the weight and all of this stuff. The weight was a factor, but it wasn't. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to see a fight break out, so we didn't see enough of what he could have done to make the weight look like it was a huge factor in there. We didn't see it because it was too much grabbing and holding and the pulling down of the head and all of this stuff. So, you know, I'm not really happy about this fight. I'm not happy about the outcome. I'm not happy with the performance of either one of these guys because I mean, what I saw was Rigo slipping a lot of punches. His gloves was catching a lot of Lomachenko's punches, and you know, I think that some of those punches were getting through after he was hitting Lomachenko on the gloves. No, Lomachenko on the gloves. Rigo on the gloves. I think that some of that stuff was hurting. You know, it was hurting him, and that was why he was doing most of the holding outside of him not being able to keep up with the footwork. Sorry about that noise in there. That's the wife. I got the TV up loud in the room, but yeah, man. Not really impressed. Hold on one second. I'm gonna turn this TV down. All right, man. So yeah, this fight was. I'm glad it was on ESPN. That's all I can say. I'm glad that I didn't have to pay-per-view for this fight. I think that Rigo came in and he had expectation to collect a check and go ahead and retire on the money that he was going to get. Excuse me. He was saying that he was going to, after the fight, after they interviewed him, he was saying that he's willing to fight anybody and all of this stuff. But I'm really disappointed in this dude, man. I can't say enough of how disappointed I am. I stayed up waiting to see a fight, and it didn't happen. And like I said before, I will credit Loma. He came in ready. He didn't look fearful. He looked like he was respecting Rigo's skill set in the first few rounds, 1 through 3. He looked like he was trying to, pay him a little respect. He kept off of him. He wasn't really on him as much. After that, he started coming in. He started moving around. He started playing around with him like he always does his opponents, spinning around, going in and out, just kind of being a little herky-jerky and timing up top and going back down to the bottom real quick. And it was entertaining on his part as far as what people are expecting to see from him, but we didn't get a chance to see him shine. And that's what I'm really disappointed with the most, is just not really being able to see him in peak condition, just peak skill set. I didn't get a chance to see the guy get loose and really go in there and hammer away at somebody. I haven't been able to see him do it as much as I want to. And I'll be glad when I can. And Rigo stole that moment from all of us tonight. He stole that moment because he didn't come in prepared. I thought, he would be trying to time him, and you could look and see at times that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to try to time Loma coming in, a little wild or a little awkward, and he would be able to land something big and keep him off of him, and then try to study from the outside. But it just didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way at all. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Fight wasn't good. Much credit to Lomachenko, man, for coming in ready, for being focused, for delivering on his promise to go in there and do what he always does. And to Rigo, highly disappointed, man. The fans are highly disappointed with you, bro. You quit on your stoop. You came up with an excuse. You backed out of pure frustration that you wouldn't be able to do anything tonight, and it was going to look like that for the next few rounds, 5 or so rounds. That's what it was going to look like, and it probably would have looked even worse than what it was. But anyway, man, that's what I have. I don't really have much because nothing much happened in there, due to the fact that it was grabbing and holding all night, mostly on Rigo's part. And I'm not going to be that guy to get on here and do all of this extra and say all of this extra, oh man, come with all of this black and white and all of these excuses and all of that. I don't have time for that. So, with that said, man, y'all have a good night. Y'all enjoy yourself, and I guess we'll have something to talk about, man, in 2018, with boxing. Maybe we'll see, Spence go in there and do something crazy, against Peterson. We'll see something phenomenal with these guys up and coming, but right now I don't know what's going on with these guys. But the other 4 fights, those were pretty good, man. Those guys got in there and did what they had to do. I was more impressed with those fights than I was with the main event, man. Those were some good fights. Guys went in there to take care of business and make sure that people remember their name, and that's how you're supposed to do it. But anyway, peace.